Dr. Gundry, is it bad to eat avocados every day?
Avocado may be one of the best fruits that you can eat. Studies show that eating one avocado a day helps you lose weight. Oh, potato is not what you're supposed to eat. It's full of lectins. Sweet potatoes are actually great for you. They're a great source of prebiotic fiber. Try boiling them for a real treat. Acai bowl, throw it away. Please stay away from acai bowls. Eat acai instead. Mushrooms, they're loaded with polysaccharides that feed your friendly bacteria. Soy is not a natural food for us. Lemon water. Have all the lemon water you want, but don't have lemonade. Oh, a salad with corn and edamame and tomato. So you think you're having a healthy salad. Your body thinks you're trying to kill it. But the real issue is not just this. There's something bigger going on that you need to know about.
More bitter, more better. The right vegetables and fruit can help you lose weight, give you more energy, and really help your gut digestion. So I'll tell you what, let's go shopping. All right, here's my favorite section in the grocery store. Cruciferous vegetables are a phenomenal source of sulfur, and the more sulfur-containing foods that you get into your diet, the better your mitochondria work. Mitochondria are those little organelles in all of our cells that produce energy. Now, rapini is really bitter. More bitter, more better. Because it's the bitter compounds in foods that actually are the polyphenols that you want to actually protect your mitochondria and protect your health. So saute with some onions and some garlic, and then drown it in extra virgin olive oil, and you'll find you're gonna love bitter. Fennel. Anytime you've got bulb-like vegetables, you know that they contain lots of the soluble fiber that your gut buddies want. Chop this part off. You can actually add this to soups or stir fries. Slice this finely, and it makes this amazing kind of licorice flavor in your salads, and you're gonna get that crunch that you absolutely love.
If you don't feel well, very often it's what you're eating, right?
Yeah, people know that there's something wrong. They're eating healthier than ever, and yet they're sicker than ever.
And do you think it's stoppable through diet?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. We live in the most advanced era in human history, right? There have never been more medical breakthroughs than there are right now. So tell me one thing. Why is the health of the average American plummeting? Why are digestive issues like bloating, cramps, and constipation at the highest levels ever recorded? Why do so many of us struggle with fatigue and low mood? Why are skin problems, achy joints, allergies, and constant colds something that millions of Americans deal with every single day? Why are 66% of Americans overweight, diabetic, or pre-diabetic? And why is that number skyrocketing every day? With projections that in 10 years, a staggering 85% of all Americans will be overweight or obese. Because modern medicine profits from sickness, not health. And in my opinion, their worst fear is that you learn the true cause of what ails you and that you solve it once and for all. That's why I made this video. My name is Dr. Stephen Gundry, and for much of my adult life, I was overweight. My knees and bones ached, and I was tired all the time. This was despite being a world-renowned cardiothoracic surgeon and living the perfect healthy lifestyle most of my fellow doctors recommended. I rarely ate fast food. I consumed low-fat dairy and whole grains. I ran 30 miles a week and worked out at the gym daily. Despite all this, I was 70 pounds overweight, had high blood pressure, migraine headaches, arthritis, high cholesterol, and insulin resistance. I wore braces on my knees because they hurt so much. That was then. Today I'm proud to say I'm not only thin and healthy, I'm actually happy because I finally feel clean and healthy on the inside. I'm turning 70 this year, and people often assume I'm 10 years younger than I am. Best of all, I've now helped tens of thousands of people achieve the same results, including people of every age, many of whom were in really bad shape and thought they could never get healthy. To accomplish this yourself, you do not need to visit a doctor. You do not need to have an expensive surgery. You do not need to do crazy workouts. And you don't have to starve yourself. What you do need to do is change just one aspect of your health. And if you do it, I can practically guarantee your health and life will change in a matter of weeks or even days. What's the one thing you need to change? Your gut. Today, I'm going to share with you my brand new Gut Cleanse protocol for transforming your physical health and achieving the life you deserve. Much of what you're about to hear has never been shared before outside my world-famous clinics in Santa Barbara and Palm Springs, California. And it's based on scientific research from my 40 years practicing medicine. And do you know the best part? It's actually easy, as long as you're prepared for several myths you've heard all your life to be shattered. As you may know, there are over 340,000 people on Earth right now who are over 100 years old. Amazingly, many of them are still dancing, biking, feeling great, and enjoying life even after their centennial birthday. In fact, I've met many, and even been doctored to, several who looked so good, people thought they were 30 to 40 years younger than their actual age. I'm here to tell you that, despite what you've heard, their amazing health is not due to good luck or superior genetics. They live in different countries, eat different foods. Some have no vices, and some smoke cigarettes and drink wine all day. But if you look at these people closely, a very specific pattern about their lifestyle becomes crystal clear. And by studying this secret pattern, I believe we've discovered a master key that unlocks your body's health and longevity. I've spent many years learning this secret and testing it on myself. And wow, is it working for me? Better than I ever thought possible. It's also working for thousands of people who come to see me at my clinics. And today, I will share this secret, every detail, with you. Why am I doing this? Firstly, the waiting list to see me in Palm Springs and Santa Barbara is currently over a year long. And that's with me working 6 days a week and taking almost no vacations. It's become obvious to me that if I'm going to reach my goal of helping the millions of Americans who struggle with weight, digestive issues, unending food cravings, fatigue, skin problems, physical discomfort, and a host of other issues, I need to spread the word right now about the true cause of these health problems, so the good people of this country can finally take back control of their bodies. In my 40 years of experience in medicine, I eventually came to this unbelievable conclusion. We live in a world where doctors, insurance companies, and drug makers don't provide health care. They provide disease care, waiting for us to get sick so they can charge us for pills to manage our pain, and hiding from you the fact that they aren't in control of your health. You are. And that key to living a long, healthy life is actually free, and something everyone has access to. And it all starts in your gut. Now, you may have heard about the power of the gut before, but I can promise you, you have never heard what I'm about to share with you today. This is brand new information that I feel is going to make 2021 the year we all look back on as a major shift in the health of people around the country and hopefully the world. And if you've ever suffered from digestive issues or weight gain or brain fog or fatigue or achy joints or skin problems or cravings for sweets and carbs, or especially if you've suffered from several or all of these things, it is not your fault. And I encourage you to listen closely for the next few minutes. I will explain everything and the simple method I've used to help not just myself, but thousands of other people who swear by the simple protocol I'm about to share with you right now. Again, my name is Dr. Stephen Gundry, and I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon and celebrated nutritionist living in Palm Springs and Santa Barbara, California. I graduated with honors from Yale University and received my medical doctorate from the Medical College of Georgia. I spent 16 years as a professor of surgery and pediatrics and chairman of cardiothoracic surgery at the world-famous Loma Linda University School of Medicine. Along with my former partner Leonard Bailey, I perform more infant and pediatric heart transplants than any other doctor in the world. I'm the inventor of the Gundry retrograde cardioplegia cannula, one of the most widely used devices to keep the human heart alive during open heart surgery. I was one of the original 20 surgeons who tested the world's first artificial heart and one of the first to use robots in surgery. I've seen tens of thousands of patients with a spectrum of health issues, including cardiovascular disease, cancer, autoimmune conditions, diabetes, and obesity. But you may know me better from my appearances on shows such as Dr. Oz or interviews on news channels across America, or my online videos on health and wellness, which have over 50 million views. And according to my colleagues, this video is my most important video to date. I'm also the personal physician for legendary self-help guru Tony Robbins, who was kind enough to recently say, Dr. Gundry is one of America's greatest and most knowledgeable physicians, and for years I've had the good fortune to benefit from his care. Why do Tony Robbins, Fortune 500 executives, and thousands of other Americans come to me for help? The answer is simple. Because I'm willing to tackle medical issues that nobody else can fix. People come to me when they've been everywhere. Harvard, the Mayo Clinic, Stanford, UCLA, and they still can't find answers. Because I'm not afraid to try solutions that go against the grain. In fact, in my experience, many health professionals are often 10 to 20 years behind on the latest research and in some cases actually doing more harm than good. And that's why, after 16 years as chief of heart surgery, I left my position at Loma Linda University School of Medicine. Why did I do it? Why would a successful doctor leave a prestigious career and turn his back on conventional medicine? Well, the reason may shock you. I realized that much of what I had learned, much of what we were telling patients, was flat out wrong. Specifically, my research showed that many of the conditions I was treating, weight gain, poor circulation, deteriorating health, heart issues, even mental decline, they were all starting in a place nobody was talking about: the gut. My first hint that our intestinal tracts were far more important than people thought actually came when I was performing heart surgery back in the 1980s. Back then, I used to see a lot of people with plaque blockages in their arteries from years of smoking cigarettes. But usually, when we were bypassing the blockage, the rest of a smoker's arteries were perfectly clean. But as the years went by, I started seeing fewer smokers and more people with diabetes, high insulin levels, and obesity, which, as you may know, are all correlated with poor gut health. When we performed heart surgery on these people, it was far worse than the smokers' arteries. Their arteries were riddled with plaque blockages. We could barely find a blood vessel that was healthy. The surgeries, while successful, became far more difficult. I couldn't believe it. Literally, people who had smoked cigarettes every day of their lives had healthier hearts than people who were suffering from conditions associated with an unhealthy GI tract. If you're shocked to hear that poor gut health can actually be worse for you than a lifetime of smoking cigarettes, believe me, I was shocked too. So I began dedicating all of my research to learning everything I could about intestinal health. We all knew that poor intestinal health could lead to digestive discomfort, constipation, irritable bowels, and heartburn. But how could a malfunctioning gut lead to problems with your skin, your weight, your energy, your joints, your heart, and even your brain? Back then, nobody was asking the question. But today, thanks to years of research, we finally have the answer. You see, our GI tracts are very long. In fact, if you stretch your intestines out, they'd have more surface area than an entire tennis court. But they're also very thin. The lining of your intestines is actually just one cell thick, which is basically the thinnest thing that you can imagine. The gut walls need to be this thin because they act like high-tech sponges, sucking up all the nutrients and vitamins from the food you eat and sending the good stuff throughout your body. What's left over becomes food for your gut bacteria, which we refer to as your microbiome. They grow and make more bacteria, and what you deposit in the toilet as poop is, well, mostly loads of living and dead bacteria. So in short, this is how your gut works. You eat food. Your intestinal walls absorb the good stuff from the food, and what's left over gets eaten by your microbiome, which you then get rid of when you go to the bathroom. And when your gut is healthy, these gut walls do their job great, turning food into energy and getting rid of the poop smoothly and cleanly, like a brand new drain pipe in your bathroom. But here's the problem. Because these gut walls are so thin, they can sometimes tear. And certain things are especially good at causing tears. The worst of these are called lectins. Lectins are sharp, nasty little proteins found in certain kinds of food. Remember when I told you that whole grain bread is terrible for you? That's because those whole wheat grains contain lectins. The lectins are in those dark brown husks of the grain seeds. You can actually imagine them looking like smaller versions of those pointy little seeds. These sharp, microscopic lectins are also in the skin of several kinds of vegetables, including tomatoes, eggplants, and red bell peppers. And when these sharp lectins get into your gut, watch out, because they tear the lining of your gut walls, creating small holes. So if you have to eat bread, I recommend white sourdough, which has far fewer lectins than whole wheat alternatives. Speaking of lectins, think back to your bathroom now. Imagine if you started flushing sharp, rusty nails down the toilet. Maybe you could flush one or two and be okay, but if you flushed handfuls of rusty nails for days or weeks, after a while they would scrape little holes in your pipes. Pretty soon, little bits of dirty sewage would start leaking out of the pipe, into your walls, your floors, even your house's foundation. I know, this sounds pretty gross, but you need to hear it, because unfortunately, this is what can happen in your GI tract. This is what I and a growing number of experts now refer to as leaky gut. Lectins and other bad guys tearing holes in your gut lining, allowing tiny particles of poop to leak out into your bloodstream. And once this happens, you can start to see why leaky gut can cause so many health problems. Once they get into your bloodstream, these dirty particles storm across your entire body, like an invading horde. If these toxins get into your joints, they can cause aches and pain. If they get into your skin, they can cause itchiness, redness, acne, and rashes. If they get into your upper GI tract, they can cause heartburn and indigestion. If they get into your heart tissue, they can cause the kind of deadly health issues I spent my entire career trying to prevent, including heart disease and even death. And do you know the worst part? To your brain, all of these terrible things are perceived as attacks on your body, the same as if you have a virus. So your brain goes on high alert to threat level red to stop these attacks, sending white blood cells to fix the problem, which it can do for a while, but your brain just can't stay on threat level red all day, every day. Pretty soon, the cells that protect your brain from attack start to wear down. And when these glial cells in your brain are strained too hard, they actually cause your brain cells to die. I probably don't have to tell you what happens when brain cells start to die. Headaches, brain fog, and losing your mental sharpness are just the first signs of damage. But if these toxins are left to rampage through your body for months or even years, the damage can be far, far worse. If the thought of these health issues keep you up at night, believe me, I'm right there with you. So you can see why I now say leaky gut isn't just some small issue that causes digestive discomfort. In my opinion, it's actually a root cause of many, many of the issues that plague us, both physical and mental. Now, you may be wondering something about lectins. How can something supposedly healthy, like a tomato, be so bad for me? After all, haven't humans been eating these foods for our entire history? Actually, this is another myth. Your ancestors didn't eat any of these so-called health foods. You see, tomatoes, bell peppers, and eggplants weren't introduced to Western civilization until 1492, when Christopher Columbus discovered them in the New World and brought them back to Europe. That's right, before Columbus, nobody in Italy had ever had tomato sauce, eggplant parmesan, or a single slice of pizza. Of course, Columbus had no idea these foods were packed with lectins, or the impact they could have on our GI tracts, which had never been exposed to the foreign foods before. Now, in the case of whole grain wheat, humans in general have been eating it a while longer, since farming began about 10,000 years ago. But even then, most societies historically removed the dark wheat husk and instead ate white bread, which is not a coincidence, because it's in the dark husk that gut-destroying lectins are contained. This is also why everyone in Asia, who have been eating rice for thousands of years, prefer to eat white rice, not brown. However, since about 1970, the use of supposedly healthy brown rice and whole wheat breads and pastas have skyrocketed in our society thanks to successful marketing campaigns to rebrand these things as healthy, with virtually no evidence, I might add. Do you know what else has happened since 1970? The obesity rate has more than tripled. The diabetes rate has skyrocketed 800%. An astounding 70% of Americans are now considered overweight or obese, and I was one of them. As a heart surgeon, I simply couldn't get my mind around it. How could Americans with the best medical technology in the world, the richest economy, a gym on every corner, and an abundance of health foods on every grocery store aisle be this sick and getting worse every year? Well, believe me, there is an answer, and there is a way to lose that weight, restore your energy, and fix the nagging health problems that are robbing you of your joy. A way to look and feel fantastic again, the way you should, and it all starts in your gut. Okay, on to the good news. Once I realized the importance of a healthy gut, I began to look at sickness in a completely different way. I was convinced that by unlocking the secrets of a renewed gut, we could find a sort of master key to better health and a longer, happier life. And perhaps the most important piece of the puzzle came when I began studying what researchers refer to as the blue zones. A blue zone is a nickname for the 5 places in the world that contain the most centenarians, people over 100 years old of anywhere in the world. In these specific places, people not only live to be over 100, but they are routinely healthier, more mobile and active, look younger and have fewer wrinkles, and have dramatically lower incidence of disease than everywhere else on Earth. These locations are the Italian island of Sardinia, Okinawa, Japan, Loma Linda, California, where I once lived and worked as a professor at Loma Linda University, the Nicoya Peninsula of Costa Rica, the Greek island of Icaria, and in my research, I've identified 2 additional regions of super longevity, the Catavans in Papua New Guinea, and the residents of Acciaroli, a small town south of Naples, Italy. As you can imagine, researchers have recently become very interested in studying these places and figuring out the source of their incredible longevity. You might think researchers discovered these people are all eating the same diet or living similar lifestyles. Actually, the opposite is true. Just look at the differences. The Acciarolis eat fish and anchovies, huge amounts of rosemary and olive oil, drink a lot of wine, and eat no bread or pasta. Okay, so fish is good and bread is bad, right? Well, the Sardinians with extreme longevity live in the mountains, so they eat no fish, but they have goat cheese and goat meat and actually eat lots of bread. Now, the Nicoyan don't have fish or bread. Their staples include corn tortillas, beans, and rice. The Seventh-day Adventists in Loma Linda eat a lot of nuts and soybeans, and the majority of Seventh-day Adventists are vegetarians or vegans and have very healthy lifestyles. On the other hand, the Catawbans smoke tobacco like fiends and eat huge amounts of taro root, which is a carb, and coconut, which is a saturated fat. Yet, they are very skinny, have never had a documented heart attack or stroke, and regularly live into their 90s, without medical care, I might add. You can see why researchers have no idea what makes these people live so long. They couldn't be more different from each other. But I was surprised to learn that of all the research people had done on Blue Zone lifestyles, nobody had studied one important area. That's right, their gut health. You see, my own research and that of others has shown that gut health is correlated with long life. In 2017, my colleagues at King's College London discovered that people with Alzheimer's disease showed significant amounts of bad bacteria in their guts, and that it might actually be the bad bacteria causing the brain problems, not the other way around. And in one of the largest human gut studies of all time, over 1,000 healthy people from China were analyzed by researchers at Western University in Canada. This included young people, middle-aged people, elderly people, including a group of superagers who were over 90 but still in fantastic health. What the researchers found in the guts of these superagers was shocking. According to Dr. Greg Glore, the lead investigator, the main conclusion is that if you are ridiculously healthy and 90 years old, your gut microbiota is not that different from a healthy 30-year-old in the same population. That's right, the 90-year-old's secret wasn't just good genes or surgeries to make them look young. It was that their guts were young. Now, back to the people living in the blue zones. When I looked closely at their lifestyles and compared it to my own research on gut health, I began to notice something that nobody else had seen. Firstly, many of these cultures eat foods that contain lectins, which in theory can and does damage their gut walls. But when I studied their diets, I found something extraordinary. Each culture also eats specific foods that seem to counteract the bad effects from lectins. Let me repeat this because it's very important. Foods with lectins tear holes in our gut and destroy our health. But other foods exist that can help you naturally reverse the damage by actually repairing the gut. Even more amazing, it's not the foods themselves that do it. These foods feed certain bacteria so they can make a compound that helps your body naturally repair itself. And the repairman in your gut is an incredible compound called butyrate. Butyrate is a short-chain fatty acid. It's one of the most important substances in your entire body. In your gut, this superhero is in charge of many things. It's the main source of energy for your gut, fueling all those cells that line your intestines. It neutralizes inflammatory enzymes, meaning it soothes the gut walls. It's a powerful antioxidant, meaning it helps reduce the stress on your cells. And it's the preferred fuel for your brain and our mitochondria, whose job is to manufacture energy in every one of your cells. But most important of all, butyrate helps strengthen the cells in your gut lining. By nourishing your gut lining, it basically is tightening the junctions that connect every cell of your gut walls. So if the walls have holes or leaks, butyrate comes by like a repairman and helps your cells patch up the holes. In fact, butyrate also supports the mucosal lining of your gut, which is the protective barrier that keeps the walls safe and your digestion working right. If your gut was a broken deck, butyrate doesn't just help patch the holes, it throws in a few coats of weather sealant on top. So that's what butyrate does on a scientific level. But what does all that mean for you? Well, when you get into the human studies on the effects of butyrate, you quickly realize how incredible a compound this is, and the profound connection it can have to your weight, your digestion, and your overall health. In a landmark 2015 study in Spain, 113 people with digestive discomfort, constipation, diarrhea, and bloating had their gut health compared to 66 healthy controls. The people suffering from digestive issues all had significantly lower levels of butyrate, and the people without digestive issues had very high levels of butyrate. Butyrate was the difference between a healthy and unhealthy gut. This confirms a separate study out of the University of Pennsylvania that linked butyrate with a reduction of diarrhea. Not surprisingly, another study found that supplementing people who suffer from bowel issues not only provided a significant improvement, it worked for 100% of the study participants. Yes, 100%. But it doesn't end there. Butyrate can also support brain health. In fact, a 2011 study in Germany showed butyrate could even provide mental benefits to aging mice. Even better, butyrate can help manage blood sugar levels already within the normal range. So if you're someone who likes to keep an eye on your blood sugar, butyrate is a godsend. Butyrate also produces legendary ketones in the liver, which is not only great for liver health, it's an important aspect of many diets. For instance, you may have heard of the keto diet before, where people give up 100% of their carbs. Why do they do this? Because when they do, their body goes into overdrive producing ketones, helping them lose weight. Well, butyrate produces ketones, all on its own, without giving up carbs. And speaking of weight loss, let's get into some really interesting aspects of butyrate. Everyone knows that exercise is healthy, but recent studies have now shown that when animals exercise, one of the main things they produce is, you guessed it, butyrate in the gut. So having improved butyrate in your gut means you have the gut of someone who exercises a lot, whether you actually exercise or not. Weight loss, more energy, reduced food cravings, liver health, brain health, saying goodbye to bloating, constipation, or other digestive discomfort. If it sounds incredible that all of this is associated with more butyrate in your gut, believe me, it is. But it's not surprising when you remember what's happening in the average American's body. We've been eating things that tear holes in our gut walls, including not just lectins, but also processed foods, sugars, and various fake health foods. Not to mention commonplace toxins that surround us, like glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup, that tears holes in our guts and lets waste leak into our bodies. And we consume antibiotics far too often, even though studies show every broad-spectrum antibiotic you take damages your gut health for a staggering 2 full years. When your gut is weak, these toxins create havoc on our health, storming across our body. But butyrate helps us fix the holes. It soothes the gut walls, and the more you have of it, odds are the better you're going to be. I can tell you, both as a doctor and my own patient, I now consider butyrate to be one of, if not the, most important health boosters in the human body. In fact, there's almost no aspect of your health, even your longevity itself, that butyrate doesn't play a massive role in. Okay, so how do we get more butyrate? Well, butyrate is made inside you, and it requires 2 things. The first thing you need is good bacteria in your gut. You may have heard of these good bacteria before. They're called probiotics. As you may know, your body contains trillions of bacteria. There's actually 10 bacteria cells in your body for every 1 human cell. In fact, you have about 4 to 6 pounds of bacteria inside you right now. Don't be grossed out. This isn't bad. In fact, without all that bacteria, you would actually die. According to Dr. Lita Proctor of the United States National Institutes of Health, humans don't have all the enzymes we need to digest our own diet. Microbes in the gut break down many of the proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates in our diet into nutrients that we can then absorb. Moreover, the microbes produce beneficial compounds, like vitamins and anti-inflammatories, that our genome cannot produce. These beneficial bacteria, which we call probiotics, are vital to human health. Damaging the probiotics in your gut has been shown in countless studies to have negative effects on your body. According to new data collected in 2016 by researchers at Harvard Medical School, imbalances in the gut microbiome, if left unchecked, can lead to all of the following: irritable bowel syndrome, including diarrhea, cramping, constipation, and fatigue, because gut microbes are vital to digestion in our intestines. Weight gain, due to a lack of probiotics that help control how much fat is stored in our bodies. Diabetes. It has long been known that diabetics have imbalanced gut microbes, but the Harvard researchers think this may not be a coincidence, but actually a causal factor. And even certain types of cancer. The most well-studied is colorectal cancer. Researchers say that a decrease in good bacteria and an increase in bad bacteria may lead to inflammation that actually creates tumors. In short, an imbalance of beneficial bacteria in the gut is now shown in numerous studies to be a massively important part of human health. On the plus side, increased gut health has been linked to all of the following: slimmer waistlines, reduced cravings for sugar and carbs, improved skin issues, and even more energy. Probiotics even produce melatonin, the sleep hormone, so improved gut health is actually associated with better sleep. For years, doctors have known probiotics were helpful, but here's something surprising. If you caught most doctors in an honest moment, they would probably admit they didn't actually know why probiotics were so important. This is yet another example of the so-called status quo of medicine being behind the 8 ball. But now we finally understand that of everything probiotics do, one thing might be the most important of all. It turns out probiotics make butyrate. In fact, I now consider the production of butyrate to be the #1 most important aspect of probiotic bacteria. So, if you want more butyrate, the first thing you need is probiotics. But here's the thing no one will tell you. Probiotics alone won't get you butyrate. That's because to make butyrate, the probiotics need fuel. And that fuel is called prebiotics. The 2 things sound similar, but they're quite different. Probiotics are healthy bacteria, and prebiotics are what the bacteria eat. This is what most people don't understand about probiotics. They're actually useless without prebiotics. It's like a car with no gasoline, or a factory without electricity. Fuel is the key, and the more fuel you give your gut bacteria, the more butyrate they can make. And because of this, prebiotics have been shown to support massive health benefits, including all of the following. They reduce food cravings because prebiotic fiber makes you feel full. They soothe your intestinal tract because they create butyrate, the gut wall fixer. They create smoother, more regular bowel movements. Studies show that they help you lose weight. They even have a positive effect on heart health. All of this is caused by the benefits of prebiotics and butyrate in your gut. Okay, so what foods contain prebiotic fiber? Firstly, not all high-fiber foods actually have the best prebiotic fiber. For instance, broccoli and kale are high-fiber foods, and very good for you, but not high in prebiotic fiber. So what are the best foods for prebiotic fiber? Well, they're a little tougher to come by. My top 5 choices are chicory roots, asparagus, leeks, Jerusalem artichokes, and onions. These foods are all packed with the types of prebiotic fiber that feed the naturally occurring probiotics in your body and help them produce butyrate. And I'll give you 2 bonus gut boosters, walnuts and pistachios. You see, many nuts aren't nuts at all, especially peanuts, which are in fact beans. And these fake nuts are packed with dangerous lectins. But real nuts like walnuts and pistachios are superfoods that feed your gut buddies. In fact, studies show that consuming large amounts of certain nuts can boost heart health and may even reduce the risk of developing certain types of cancer. And if you eat all of these foods every day, you're going to notice some big improvements in your health. But there's a few problems. Firstly, things like chicory and Jerusalem artichokes are tough to squeeze into your daily diet. And not everybody loves the taste of all these foods. Moreover, while eating these foods was probably enough for our ancestors to maintain a strong gut lining, modern humans are dealing with new problems. We eat processed foods crammed with sugar and chemicals, which destroy our gut lining. This includes things like the zero-calorie sweetener Splenda. According to a study at Duke University, a single packet of Splenda can destroy up to half of the probiotics in your gut. These foods are so commonplace, a staggering 74% of Americans now suffer from GI discomfort, which is probably why we also consume millions of capsules of over-the-counter pills to mask the symptoms of heartburn, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, and stomach discomfort, which works in the short term. But here's another thing the health industry hasn't made clear. Over-the-counter remedies, the antacids, the chalky chewables, aren't just useless in helping you with issues of leaky gut. They are actually a primary cause of leaky gut. Yes, this fact has now been shown in multiple scientific studies, and not just 1 or 2 studies. Dozens of studies from the top researchers around the world, the United States, Japan, Italy, Britain, and others, have shown that these so-called digestion helpers actually reduce mucus in the gut lining. That means less protection from toxins and more tears. In fact, studies have also indicated that prolonged use of any of these over-the-counter products can actually be disastrous for your health. How can that be possible? How can companies be selling us things to help us that are actually hurting us? Of course, only they know for sure, but I have a theory, and you may already know my answer. Money. Over-the-counter pills and chewables are a multi-billion-dollar industry. And as I've said before, there is no profit in fixing someone's problem. This is just common sense. There is a lot of profit, however, in making sure it never goes away. For instance, did you know many chapped lip products contain menthol, salicylic acid, and cinnamic aldehyde, all of which actually dry out your lips? If you have a friend who seems addicted to lip balms, this may be one reason why. The more you use it, the more you need it. And here's a truly shocking one. There's a light bulb in a fire station in Livermore, California, that's been on for over 100 years. Yep, the Centennial Light was originally hung in 1901 and has only been turned off a handful of times. Yet the filament is still working. How is it possible that a light bulb can last over 100 years? Well, what's amazing is that making a 100-year filament is actually easy. What's a little trickier is making thin little filaments that are guaranteed to break every year, so that people always need to buy more light bulbs. Imagine that. We could all have light bulbs that last our entire lives, and we could have had it for pennies with technology from 120 years ago. Except that big corporations don't want us to have it. They want us to literally stay in the dark. And I think the same goes for your gut. It seems to me that the world profits from you and I staying in the dark about the true causes of our leaky gut. Because the food industry, the health industry, big pharma, and even some doctors themselves profit from our sickness. If this makes you angry, you are not alone. I was right there with you, which is when I finally decided to do something about it. Not just for me, but for all the patients in my care who were suffering from unexplained weight gain, fatigue, food cravings, and digestive problems and had no idea how to fix them. Well, armed with my new knowledge of the importance of gut health, I set out to make an all-natural formula that could actually boost my gut walls, not tear it. And pretty soon, I had something that actually gave me results, a mix of probiotics and prebiotics. By supplementing with these 2 things, I had the 2 ingredients my gut needed to make butyrate and keep me healthy and happy. That includes getting rid of my achy joints, my fatigue, my brain fog, and best of all, losing 70 pounds of weight and keeping it off for over 20 years and counting. But here's the thing. Prebiotics and probiotics worked really well for me because I used them in conjunction with a 100% lectin-free diet. That's right, I eat no tomatoes, corn, wheat, eggplant, beans, or other lectin-containing foods. I also eat a ton of prebiotic and probiotic-rich foods. And while many people have adopted my diet and had the same results I did, for other people, a totally lectin-free diet is just too tough. And believe me, I understand. People have busy lives, and very strict diets are not for everyone. So I began asking myself a new question. Was there any way I could give people a shortcut to improve gut health? Not just by increasing prebiotics and probiotics, but actually supplementing with pure 100% butyrate itself. This might seem obvious, but the truth is there's a big reason nobody does this. Butyrate supplements never make it to your gut. Butyrate is bound to salt ions, and your stomach breaks these connections down. So when you eat butyrate, it never makes it past your stomach to the intestines. So I began researching something that I knew could be a game changer, a way to create a type of butyrate that could be successfully ingested and make it to the gut walls. I quickly learned there's a reason it had never been done before. It's pretty much impossible. In fact, after countless tries and many months, I was no closer to a stomach-proof butyrate than the day I started. At times, I almost felt like giving up, but I didn't, because I knew that hundreds of people I care for, and millions more across the country, are struggling with weight gain, fatigue, food cravings, and digestive discomfort every single day. And I knew the only person who was really working day and night on this was me. So I kept going, and finally, I had a breakthrough. I discovered a laboratory here in the USA that had done something amazing. They had created a special technology that encapsulates liquid on a microscopic level. This encapsulation process protects whatever is inside, even from stomach acid. When I heard about it, I asked them a question that would end up changing my life and the lives of thousands of others. Can we create encapsulated butyrate? A few months later, after much testing, we had the answer. A regular-sized capsule that is actually filled with hundreds of smaller little capsules containing 100% pure, powerful butyrate. Not only that, we found a way to add my two other gut boosters, probiotics and prebiotics. Armed with a brand new 3-pronged gut health capsule, there was only one thing left to do: try it. Well, virtually the day I began using this concentrated formula, it was like a switch got flipped. I could feel the potent fibers, probiotics, and butyrate gently cleaning me out on the inside. I started giving it to select clients as well, people who were in desperate need of help and hadn't had success from other methods. And while I had planned on waiting months to hear from people about the effects on digestive problems, I have to admit I was shocked when people started using it. They told me it was making big changes. Some even said it didn't take weeks or months, but days. Specifically, people were telling me they were having the best bowel movements of their lives. I wasn't totally surprised, though. I was having the exact same experience. As time went on, we noticed the deeper benefits: less gas and bloating, more energy, vastly reduced food cravings, a slimmer waistline, and best of all, people reported they just felt healthier, like their body was finally working right for the first time in years. And when I looked in the mirror, I could see the changes, and my clients were telling me the exact same thing. Dr. Gunder, I just wanted to fix my digestive issues. I had no idea I could actually look better. It sounds amazing, but it's not. Every year, the evidence gets stronger. Gut health is health, and there is almost no part of your body that isn't impacted by a healthy microbiome. I asked our lab to come up with a larger batch of this complete bio cleanse, enough so that I could start giving it to friends, family, and anyone who wanted to finally put these frustrating health problems behind them, once and for all. We called this new formula BioComplete 3. BioComplete 3 is the first and only formula to combine these 3 powerful ingredients in a revolutionary new gut health blend. And it's already helping people just like yourself achieve things they never thought were possible. Digestive issues improving dramatically or vanishing altogether. Excess weight, especially belly fat, finally becoming easier to lose. Your skin appears clearer, your joints move more comfortably. Fatigue being replaced by an abundance of energy, the kind of energy you had as a kid, and the kind you can have again with a healthy gut. And do you know what I love most about this formula? Our lab discovered a way to turn these ingredients, including pure encapsulated butyrate, into a single powerful pill. A pill you can take yourself every day, right in the comfort of your own home. And it goes to work soothing your digestive lining after just the very first use. Best of all, it has no sugar, no carbs, and 0 calories per serving. It's the healthy, naturally inspired capsule that I formulated to help you finally achieve the health and confidence you deserve. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can get BioComplete 3 in just a moment. But first, let me explain how we achieve these incredible results. It's all thanks to these potent ingredients, which work because of what I call the 3-pronged defense. These lines of defense do 3 things to help you stop leaky gut. Number 1, boost your probiotic levels, so you have lots of good bacteria. Number 2, boost your prebiotic levels, so your good bacteria have fuel. Number 3, boost butyrate levels, so your body can build an ironclad gut lining. You already know about our revolutionary encapsulated butyrate, so let me briefly tell you about the incredible prebiotics and probiotics we used as well. Let's start with the super probiotic Bacillus coagulans. Of all the beneficial bacteria you can get into your gut, my favorite is Bacillus coagulans. That's because studies have shown it to be effective in helping stop bloating, abdominal discomfort, and occasional constipation and diarrhea. It's also been shown to help reduce straining and discomfort during bowel movements. In several human studies, it's also been shown to support immune health, something that's so important as we get older. In fact, a staggering 70% of your immune system is actually located right in your gut. And in animal studies, it's even shown to significantly reduce joint discomfort. But the main reason I chose this specific form of probiotic is because it actually survives all the way to the gut. You see, most probiotics you see in stores or online are made with bacteria that can't survive your stomach acid, the same problem we had with butyrate. So you'll see probiotics advertised as having 10 billion or 20 billion or even 50 billion colony-forming units. Sounds great. There's just one problem. If it's a cheap probiotic, very few, or perhaps even none of these beneficial bacteria will make it to your gut. That's where our Bacillus coagulans comes in. This high-tech strain is very unique. It's spore-forming, which means it's basically the seed of a probiotic. It has a virtually indestructible microscopic shell that keeps it safe as it travels through your stomach. In fact, it can't even be activated until it reaches your gut. This is a major innovation in the field of probiotics, which is why I believe the study results for it have been so extraordinary. And it's in every serving of BioComplete 3. But as I mentioned before, even the most powerful probiotics would be useless without the right fuel, high-fiber prebiotics. And for BioComplete 3, I chose the best prebiotic on the planet, a special form of prebiotic called sunfiber. Sunfiber, or guar gum, is extracted from special guar beans in Australia. And the extract from this plant produces one of the most powerful prebiotics on Earth. It's a well-established fact that virtually all prebiotics can help with reducing hunger cravings, providing smoother, easier bowel movements, helping achieve a slimmer waistline, supporting already healthy blood sugar levels, and even maintaining your heart health. And of course, they're the fuel that allows your probiotics to create butyrate. But most prebiotics do have one problem: bloating. For instance, Brussels sprouts are super healthy and contain tons of prebiotic fiber. But sometimes if you eat too much, you're going to get that full bloated belly, which doesn't look or feel good. And nobody likes the gassiness that comes along with it. This bloating is due to the fact that prebiotics contain certain kinds of fibers called FODMAPs. So usually, with prebiotics, it's a double-edged sword. Health benefits? Absolutely. But you'll need to deal with bloating. But that's where sunfiber comes in. You see, of all the prebiotics on Earth, sunfiber has a special distinction. It contains no FODMAPs. That's right. Because it contains no FODMAPs, sunfiber is the no bloating prebiotic. For that reason, it's my prebiotic fiber of choice. And yes, this digestive superfuel is in every serving of BioComplete 3. And when you combine it with our super strain probiotic and our pure encapsulated butyrate, you get what I now consider to be the most powerful all-in-one digestive health supplement I've ever created, bar none. It's an innovative three-pronged formula that will crush digestive discomfort, food cravings, and leaky gut symptoms in their tracks. Now, at this time, I should point out that BioComplete 3 is not necessarily for everyone. If you're what I call a perfect non-lectin eater, meaning you eat absolutely no foods containing lectins or that release toxins, such as pasta, rice, potatoes, squash, peppers, sugar, sunflower seeds, peanuts, cashews, wheat, oats, corn, tomatoes, cereals, granola, bread, and over a dozen other lectin-rich foods, then you may truly be one of the few Americans who do not have leaky gut and already feeling the benefits of a healthy digestive system. However, if you, like most people, do eat these foods regularly, because, again, they're basically unavoidable in our modern diet, then you very likely have been experiencing food cravings, fatigue, aches, and a myriad of other issues for years, and BioComplete 3 was designed specifically for you. In fact, to test the power of BioComplete 3 for these exact issues, we conducted user groups between July and October of 2019. These weren't patients of mine. They were complete strangers, 30 volunteers between the ages of 32 and 74, who wanted help with nagging digestive issues. We conducted the user group for 3 full months, but amazingly, people were already raving about their results after just 2 weeks. After 2 weeks of using BioComplete 3, 97% of users said their bowel movements were more regular. 90% had a more positive mood. 87% had fewer cravings for carbs. 93% experienced less abdominal discomfort. And 97% said they could eat their favorite foods with less digestive discomfort. This was after just 14 days. But when our users came back after 4 weeks, their results were even better. 97% had fewer cravings for unhealthy foods. 100% said their overall digestion was better. 94% said they felt healthier. 90% had more energy. 90% said they were thinking more clearly. A majority of users said they had lost weight, noticed a decrease in belly fat, and that their stomach looked flatter. 90% had less gas and bloating. A staggering 100% said their bowel movements were now smooth and easy. And 97% of users said they just plain felt better. These results from total strangers are phenomenal. In 40 years of practicing medicine, I've rarely seen anything work this fast or this well. And it makes me so glad I never gave up on finding a method to help regular people take back control of their digestive health, at home, all on their own. Okay, so let's talk about how you can try BioComplete 3 and experience these same dramatic changes for yourself. Now that our user groups are complete, we've been getting more and more calls to find out how retailers can get BioComplete 3 in their stores. And I keep telling them the same thing. I don't want BioComplete 3 in stores. Why? Well, for starters, most of these retailers demand huge product orders. I explained to them that the whole reason BioComplete 3 is getting these amazing results is because we didn't skimp on ingredients. The encapsulated butyrate alone is incredibly difficult to find and expensive to produce. If you use some cheap knockoff, it's not going to give you results. The other problem is that these retailers add huge profit margins to their products to pay for their stores, their CEOs' private jets, and of course, their stockholders' insatiable demand for short-term profits. They were quoting me retail prices of over $100 a bottle. That's just too high, I told them. Well, my Gundry MD team looked into it, and as you might expect, we can do better. After all, we don't have private jets. We're just a team of hard-working professionals with decades of experience, helping people transform their health for the better. And by distributing BioComplete 3 ourselves with no middleman, my team said we could use 100% high-quality ingredients for a suggested retail price of $69.95. I was impressed. That's actually a price I would have gladly paid to get rid of digestive issues, food cravings, and the many other health issues I suffered from prior to fixing my leaky gut. But I know the more affordable something is, the more people will have access to it. So, because you've watched this entire video, and because I know how serious you are about finally taking control of your gut health, we've decided to dramatically lower the price of BioComplete 3 for a short period of time. So, if you order BioComplete 3 from us today, you don't have to spend $100 a bottle to finally tackle your health. Actually, you don't even need to spend half that. If you order BioComplete 3 right now through this video presentation, you'll pay only $49.95. That's an instant savings of $20. But remember, this offer is only available to first-time customers through this video presentation, and it's only available until supplies run out. And supplies will sell out. When they do sell out, this offer will be taken down immediately, and BioComplete 3 will return to its regular price of $69.95. Why are we lowering the price so low? Well, there's 2 reasons. First, my life mission is to help fix the gut health of as many people as I can. I've lectured around the world. I've appeared on shows such as Dr. Oz and The Today Show. And I've been on podcasts and hundreds of news programs across the country to spread this important message. BioComplete 3 is my newest and I believe most powerful tool yet. A way I can reach through the screen not just with my words, but actually send help directly to the people who need it. And second, after 40 years in this industry, I'm just flat out sick of Big Pharma having a stranglehold on the health of Americans. The more people who learn that there are natural, healthy ways to address their problems, the less they'll rely on Big Pharma. All I ask is that when you feel the life-changing results that come from healing your own gut, that you tell your friends and family about BioComplete 3 as well. My hope is for Gundry MD to become a household name, and I know this formula works, so I want as many people to be able to afford it as possible. Update. Congrats on making it this far. Because you're serious about improving your mental and physical health, we've got some new special packages of BioComplete 3 available to help you save even more. You see, most of our users fall in love with BioComplete 3 after just their first week of use, myself included. In fact, we've received over 20,000 orders of BioComplete 3 in the last 2 months alone. And the reason we have so many users is because when people start taking BioComplete 3, they end up asking for quite a bit more, not just for themselves, but for friends and family too. So we've created multi-pack options to help you get some really big savings. When you order a pack of 3 bottles of BioComplete 3, you'll pay only $44.95 a bottle. That's $25 off the retail price of $69.95. And you'll get free shipping with your order today. And if you order a package of 6 bottles, you'll save even more, up to $165 off the retail price, which is incredible. Prolonged use is the #1 best way to get the most out of BioComplete 3. So click the Next Step button below right now to find out if these options are still available. Speaking of prolonged use, people who want the most benefits and even lower prices usually opt for our Subscribe and Save option. By choosing Subscribe and Save when you order, you get an additional 10% off our already reduced prices. And you get BioComplete 3 delivered straight to your door every month, so your progress is never interrupted by waiting for your next bottle. You also receive free shipping on every order. Best of all, you'll be grandfathered in at 10% below our lowest prices for as long as you wish. There's no contracts or anything, and you can cancel anytime. It's just a great way to make sure you always have BioComplete 3 on hand, so your gut never reverts back to its prior state. As you recall, our user groups experience greater and greater results with every week of continued use. That's why we're offering the Subscribe and Save option and an extra 10% off. I want as many people as possible to experience the stunning transformation that comes from sustained, long-term gut health. If we do still have stock available, you'll see the Subscribe and Save option on the right side of the product page. I encourage you to act now if you're serious about your health and longevity. When this batch is sold out, the offer will be removed immediately, and BioComplete 3 will return to its regular price of $69.95. Right now, you can pay as little as $1.27 per day to give you the energy-boosting power of our Gut Hero blend, as well as the fat-burning power of reduced cravings and so much more from the 3 unique ingredients. Best of all, every single bottle of BioComplete 3 comes with Gundry MD's 90-day money-back guarantee. Yes, that means you can use every single pill, and if you don't experience all of the benefits our user groups did, just send it back, and we'll happily return every cent of your purchase price, no questions asked, even if it's just the empty bottles. That's how confident we are in this groundbreaking new formula. So I want you to use it all and experience the incredible change for yourself. So click the Next Step button below, and let's get started. When you get to our order page, you'll see order options for BioComplete 3 on the right side of the page. If you see options for our special 3 and 6 bottle packages, then we still have some of those packages in stock, and the extra savings are still available. And our warehouse is based in the USA, right here in Southern California, with a team of friendly customer service specialists standing by if you have any questions. You can call us 7 days a week at 800-852-0477 with questions about your order, to hear about our lab, or just to tell us the big changes you've noticed since taking BioComplete 3. The feedback we've already received has been phenomenal, so I hope you're able to order right now and take advantage of the special internet-only price before it shoots up and you miss your chance. Most packages leave our warehouse the same day they're ordered, which means if you order now, you could be opening your first bottle of BioComplete 3 in just a few days. And incredibly, at this special internet-only price, enjoying BioComplete 3 is actually less expensive each day than a cup of coffee. Yet it provides a far cleaner type of boost, leaving you energized yet relaxed all day without any late afternoon crash. Imagine the feeling of taking BioComplete 3 for the first time, knowing the formula was created using the most advanced gut-protecting, fat-burning technology available. When our gut health blend begins to take effect in your body, you could feel what I and other users do. The pleasant surge of energy, that feeling of pure clarity and confidence, like the cobwebs have been brushed aside and everything is suddenly crystal clear. In fact, I bet after your first time using BioComplete 3, you'll say to yourself exactly what I did. I didn't know I could still feel this good again. But remember, BioComplete 3 is not available in stores, and our formula is incredibly difficult to produce. So please, if you want to feel the dramatic effects of this groundbreaking health booster, click the Next Step button below while there's still time available and we have some bottles left in stock. Now, I'd like to get serious for a moment and talk about what's going to happen if you don't start making some real changes today. Now, unless you're one of the tiny fraction of people who eat a perfect lectin-free diet, the reality is that your body will continue to deteriorate as you get older if you do nothing to stop it. The fatigue you're dealing with right now, the digestive discomfort, the extra weight, these are not problems that just go away on their own. Yes, you could make some radical changes to your lifestyle, dramatically eliminating lots of foods from your diet, starting a comprehensive exercise plan, but these changes are very difficult to stick to. As a surgeon and a celebrated nutritionist, I can tell you that the longer you wait to deal with problems, the worse they get. I've seen many patients deteriorate very quickly as they age, and this is something they actually could have prevented if they'd made just a few small changes. That's why I'm urging you to take action today and make a positive change in your health. Try Gundry MD BioComplete 3 right now, risk-free, and see for yourself. One serving per day of this blend can have such a remarkable impact on so many areas of your health. I want you to feel the charge of energy that kicks in with this formula. I want you to feel the relief when those frustrating flare-ups leave your achy muscles and your tissue. I want you to feel great after you eat and to make indigestion, gas, and constipation a thing of the past. I want you to feel and see your changing waistline every morning when you look in the mirror. I want you to feel the vitality you know is inside you, just waiting to come out. Please click the Next Step button below and get started right away with this investment in your future. And remember, this special first-time customer offer is only available while this video window is open or until supplies run out. Just try one bottle of Gundry MD BioComplete 3 right now. Get instant savings of $20 off the price of a single bottle and feel the effects for yourself. Don't forget, you'll get significantly deeper discounts on larger packages, up to $165 instantly off the suggested retail price, if you act right now. Try it for a full 90 days. And if you're unsatisfied with the results for any reason whatsoever, you'll get a complete refund of your purchase price. I'm positive you're going to love how this product makes you feel. I'm certain Gundry MD BioComplete 3 can help you live longer and feel better than you have in years. For your health, I'm Dr. Stephen Gundry. Still here? You probably got some questions, and that's very common. Let me take a few moments to answer some of the most commonly asked questions about BioComplete 3. I've seen some other leaky gut products advertised. How is Gundry MD BioComplete 3 different? Before I developed this formula, I looked at the other products out there, and I saw huge problems with every one of them. So much so, I refused to recommend any of them. Here's why. First, most other leaky gut products have added sugars or artificial sweeteners. Both are terrible for your body, and they're also highly addictive. BioComplete 3 has no sugar or artificial sweeteners whatsoever. Second, many other products contain lectins, and that's absolutely a no-no for me. We talked earlier about how lectins cause damage all over your body, creating serious problems including leaky gut. So, BioComplete 3 has 0 lectins. It also has no soy, another toxic health food I tell everyone to avoid. But the big difference between BioComplete 3 and other digestive health formulas is that I chose the ingredients for this formula based on scientific results. Look, I'm a surgeon with 30-plus years experience and a published medical nutrition researcher, so I brought that expertise to the table. This formula gets real results because it's got proven ingredients at the right dosage. Also, BioComplete 3 is not just a gut health blend at all. It's really a 3-in-1 formula that can help boost energy, slim your waist, and solve leaky gut like nothing else can. It's a complete package with the right stuff that works. To see the full list of ingredients, dosages, and supplement facts, just click the Next Step button below for more information. How do I know what's in the bottle? Gundry MD BioComplete 3 contains only 100% pure quality ingredients. The content of every batch is tested for quality and purity in an outside third-party laboratory. And again, my formula contains none of the toxic elements you'll find in lots of other so-called health products. Gundry MD BioComplete 3 is sugar-free, artificial sweetener-free, lectin-free, soy-free, and dairy-free. As a physician, I'm putting my reputation on the line with this product, so you can be sure I go to great lengths to make sure every bottle meets my high standards. I made a pledge when I developed the Gundry MD line. I will never sell any product I wouldn't personally recommend to a loved one. But of course, as a physician, I know that no supplement works for everyone. There's always a very small segment of the population who may be allergic or who can't tolerate certain ingredients and supplements. So consult your doctor before starting any new dietary supplement. And if you want to return it for any reason at all, simply contact our US-based customer support team for an immediate refund. How will I know if it's working? Great question. The best thing about this formula is that you should start to feel it very quickly. Most users report feeling a distinctive, noticeable energy charge within a week of consuming. It may take longer for some than for others, but it's a feeling you're going to want again and again. You'll notice a lifting of the brain fog that often clouds your day. Breakfast should digest more smoothly. You'll feel better about completing tasks, one after the other, without losing steam, without losing stamina. After lunch, you'll wonder why you don't feel more lethargic. And the energy from this breakthrough formula comes without the crash you get from caffeine, without the crash you get from sugar or empty carbs. This is a clean energy because it's the kind of energy your body is supposed to be getting. You'll know it's working when you look up at the clock and it's already 10 p.m. You didn't notice because you were busy playing cards with friends or working on that personal project or watching that romantic movie with your spouse without falling asleep. This is what I'm talking about, the real meaning of having more energy. Of course, there's only one way to really find out if BioComplete 3 will work for you, and that's to try it for yourself. If you're ready right now to get started, and if you're still here, you should be ready. Simply click the Next Step button just below. How do I use BioComplete 3? Now, this is the best part because it's just incredibly easy. It literally takes not even 1 minute out of your day. You simply take BioComplete 3 capsules twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. The extracts in this formula digest so easily, your body starts metabolizing them quickly into energy you can really feel. It is important to take your BioComplete 3 every day on a consistent basis. I take mine every morning with breakfast so I can get my day started with a boost of long-lasting mental and physical energy. What if it doesn't work for me? Another great question, one we get all the time. Look, as a physician, I believe that everyone can benefit from the energy-boosting, gut-restoring ingredients in this formula. However, I've experienced enough in medicine to know that people are different. An individual body can react very differently to identical compounds. I've even seen very effective drugs have little to no effect on certain patients, and it's all just down to their individual body dynamics. So, even though our users rave about the incredible changes they see when using BioComplete 3, there are going to be some cases with fewer results. However, the great news is this: if the formula doesn't get results for you, I'm going to give you your purchase price back. In fact, if there's any reason at all you're unsatisfied after a full 90 days of use, I'll return your investment. Again, my reputation is on the line here. I want every single person who comes to Gundry MD to have a completely positive experience. It's my name on the label, and I've come too far to risk that. So, try Gundry MD BioComplete 3 for 3 full months. If you don't see truly remarkable results, less fatigue, reduced digestive discomfort, fewer unexplained aches and pains, clearer thinking, and better physical stamina, I'll give you your money back, and that's my personal guarantee. So please, simply click the Next Step button below and get started, risk-free, right now. You'll find detailed information on the website about the full list of ingredients in this cutting-edge formula, about myself and my medical credentials, and everything you need to know about the product. It's been a pleasure spending this time with you today, and I hope you'll take action today. Just click the button below so I can get started on personally transforming your health and your energy. For your health, I'm Dr. Stephen Gundry.